Okay, we have exes, her girls, his boys, and sex toys, sugar daddies, cougars. Exes, her girls, his boys, sex toys, sugar daddies, and cougars. Exes? I love it. That's the one I wanted to go with. Exes. So, do you have a question regarding exes?
Where's the line drawn when it comes to interaction with exes if you're in a committed relationship?
That's a great question, and I will actually use an example that Mr. Townsend posted in his relationship forum the other day. Do you remember that question? Exactly. I'll just condense it a little bit. Okay, here's a scenario. I'm dating a man, and I'm gonna flip it a little bit. I'm dating a man, and he goes out to the store one day, and he comes back in and goes, "Babe, I met Keisha at Key Food." Okay, I remember Keisha. You dated Keisha for like 8 years, right? He said, "Yeah, it's been like 10 years since I saw her." Okay, yeah, you know, she's doing really bad. Her mom just passed away. She just lost her job. They repossessed her car. Oh, girl, not doing good. And she about to get evicted. Damn, I feel sorry for her. Okay, you know, all right, yeah. I hope things do good for Keisha. He's like, we exchange numbers. Babe, do you mind if she calls every now and again if I have some leads for a job? I'll let her know. Okay, no problem. So now Keisha starts calling. Every day. Every day Keisha's calling. The first day Keisha's calling, Keisha's crying on the phone. She missed her mama. Second day Keisha called, because they done repossessed the damn car. Third day, Keisha got another drama problem. Fourth day, Keisha calling. And my man is just as happy and go lucky as I am. So every time, you know, we see somebody, we like, "Hey, how you doing? Love you, family." So every day, you know, he just says he loves people just because he's Mr. Sunshine. So every day he gets off the phone with Keisha, "I love you, God bless you. I love you, God bless you, it's gonna be okay. I love you, God bless you." Is there a problem here with his interaction with his ex? What's the problem?
He should never have given her the phone number.
He should never have given her the phone number.
It should have been, okay, it should have been, you know, "Hi, it's good to see you." But in the house, you're saying.
The house phone or his cell phone.
There's no exchange of phone numbers. Because then he's leading her on. Because he's making her think that it's okay for them to have that type of connection. And that's disrespectful to his woman.
Okay. Thank you. Would a man like to give his input on that question? Sir.
First, I think it all depends on the communication in the relationship that you have. If a lady I'm dating, say, i.e., is not jealous and I'm not jealous, then if she's dating her ex calls her, at this stage of the game, what am I gonna do? What can I do? If she's gonna cheat on me, she's gonna cheat on me. I mean, that's how I feel. I've got a bunch of exes calling me.
But they already have your number.
Exactly. So now you talk, if we're going to stay with that scenario that you just gave, I don't know. I might have gave her my number.
You might have given her your number also.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, like, God bless you on the phone. I don't know if I'm gonna do all that.
Can we have, thank you.
Oh, this one.
Yes.
I have a problem with exes because I know for a fact that all of my exes that reach out to me, they still want to be with me.
Okay.
Every single last one. So I had made it a rule that when I enter a relationship, that my exes cannot call me because they are an ex for a reason, and that I moved on for a reason. So to go back and reopen that door, no. And when I'm in a relationship with a man, his ex-women cannot call him either.
Okay.
My ex cannot call me, and his ex-woman cannot call me. Because all my exes still want to sleep with me.
Okay.
They still want to be with me. So,
She put it out there.
yeah.
She said, "I got the
Let me
package."
say something. So, that's fine, and you understand that, but that doesn't mean that might be the same with me. So, that's about
If you were
communication.
my ex, though, would it be what they
It's getting serious. Yeah. She said, "Look, you ain't been with me, so you can't say that."
And she looks serious.
But you know what's so funny is, maybe she wouldn't be my ex. Maybe she'd still be with me. You understand? So, let me tell you, toot on this horn over here too.
I got some more movies.
Yeah.
I got some more movies tickets.
Yeah, I got some position for you. You understand that your exes want to sleep with you.
Still want.
Still do.
Want
Okay. Okay. That doesn't mean the people in my past do want that. Not that they don't, but it doesn't mean. And see, I need to be able to trust you because, you know, say you're not working and one of your exes is the CEO of a company. You know, doesn't mean that, but you need a job.
And he gives me a job, and most likely he's gonna want something for getting me that job.
Well, now we're talking about, you know, trust.
Repayment.
See, you know, a lot of times we don't have trust in
That's what
relationships.
they want. They want repayment.
Oh, boy.
She just jumping into,
Yeah.
she done jumped into the segment.
Exactly.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
little
I
bit.
see that. I see that. So, I mean, basically you're saying that you know all your exes just want you for sex.
No, they don't just want me for sex at all. I'm just saying that if they do something for me, it's like, oh, when we gonna hang out, when I'm gonna see you. My ex for 11 years came over the other night, and I'm like, you're like my brother now. Like, he's like, I miss you so much. I'm like, your
Can I ask you
wife
what-
is
how is
9
he your
months
brother?
pregnant.
How is he like your brother over 11 years?
I'm sorry, I just want to pose it back to the audience for a second because you both actually are raising a lot of good points. And I'm actually I'm happy that you're more pleasant about it and you're saying that it's okay for her to have exes as friends. Because she's saying things that a lot of men will say are the reasons why their ladies can't be friends with exes. She's putting out there, she's saying, you know what, I'm keeping it real. You're gonna want something. You're gonna want to sleep with me. I don't want that, so I'd rather just cut it right there. Most men do think that way. Would anybody agree? Most exes, it depends on the situation, and I'm not saying that,
I know what you're saying. You're saying most exes feel that once they were there, they can go back.
not even the case. Okay, you raised a good point. If you dated an ex and he was a CEO of a company and you needed a job, and a prime example of that is, what was the movie? Soul Food. That's a perfect example of that. Perfect example. Even though it never went anywhere, you don't think that he would have gotten Roberta if he had opportunity and he didn't give her husband that job because he wanted to get with her and he wanted to prove to her that her husband wasn't a man?
You said the key word, opportunity.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. At this stage in my life, if I'm in a relationship, I'm not worried about what she's doing. The bottom line is, I tell any woman I'm dating, you do whatever you want to do. Just worry about getting caught. Because once you get caught, there's no violence. Leave. If you got to cheat on me at this stage in my life, then we don't need to be together. You don't have to. Go. Just go. I'm not chasing you. I'm not looking through any phones. I'm not picking this. I don't care how good you think it is. It's not that good.
I mean, don't be drama.
Let's bring it to the audience. Let's bring it to the audience. Yes, if we can.
I think that, well, I just gotta go back to that point about all men think a certain way, or all men think a certain way. I don't think that all men want to sleep with all their exes. Like she said, they're an ex for a reason. And most of my friends, we will get together and laugh about our exes and say, well, look how we progress, because we're not going back there. Because that was a period in our life that something was different. So not every guy is looking to sleep with his ex. But it's good that she knows exactly what her boundaries are.
Yeah.
I think when you have a relationship, when you have a child involved, you have to have these conversations. Like, I mean, my son has to go to school at 7, 8. We leave the house at 7 a.m. So when his nanny is not available, or his nanny now is pregnant, I actually have to be at that house. Either I have to sleep over, or I have to be there by 5 a.m. So his mom, she's a teacher, she can leave by 6:30.
Okay.
So her boyfriend, she has a boyfriend, and they're in, the bedroom, and or he may not be there. So we have a conversation about, I'm sleeping on the couch right here, or I have keys to the house. So it's not, but it's a balance. I'm not respecting their relationship. I'm not coming there because I'm making sure my son gets to school every day. So
Definitely. Different strokes for different folks with communication. Okay.
It's definitely about boundaries, but the important piece is that the boundary has to be set by the right person.
Yes.
So, for example, you have a relationship where there's a stepchild, or you're dating someone and he has a child with another woman. he has to set those boundaries with the other woman and with the baby's mother. Because if there's no boundaries set, there's so many things that can go wrong, there's so many lines that can be crossed.
Yes.
The moment that she comes out and says, oh, your new B this, she's not a B, her name is so-and-so. Once you set those boundaries, they have to live by them.
Definitely, definitely. And an example of that is, why did I get married? One. Why did I get married once? That's a prime example of setting boundaries. So he just got to the point where it was just too much coming from both places. But at the end of the day, he held the key. He held the key. He had to set the tone. Definitely, that's a great example. Thank you.
Anytime that I've had experiences where the old ex or the story around the ex resurfaces because I didn't put the cap on that there is looseness and vibration. Y'all know, anybody who's seen me come here, I talk about vibration a lot because it's so key. Because we can say things verbally, but what we give off is something absolutely the opposite of what we're saying. And so when an ex steps to me in a or in the past has, it doesn't happen anymore because of how I show up vibrationally. So they know my son's father knows not to go there. He has a wife. I communicate with her. So I don't even think it's about just him setting the boundary. It's about me expressing and communicating to the wife. Together, we're all in this process together, and that it's a community we've created. And I love the fact that we have a blended family, that anywhere we go, people don't pick up drama, as you were talking about. That my son doesn't pick up drama because he checks in. He's like, Mommy, I don't even get into the deepness of this, but we have the same name. That's his story, it ain't mine. But she has my name. My name is S-H-A-W-N-E. Her name is S-H-A-N-I. My son used to check in about the name. He would check in about, he spent time with her mother. She'd check in about that. The kids just pick up on things. What I would also say is the thing about Bird and Soul Food.
And soul food.
She had an energy around her regarding her husband that he was less than. And so how she showed up with the ex was like, he was higher than or more elevated than her husband. And that was clear. And so the ex knew that there was an opening to get in there.
Exactly.
So if I show up in that with that posture, then people know that they can step to me any kind of way.
Definitely.
So, and the other piece for me is I have had, once again, closure with, I did ritual to close out. Thanking them, not negatively, but thanking every person I've been with for what they've given me. Even the stuff that seemed off the wall, it's like I learned about myself as a result, and seal that, cut the cord, we're done. And even if you show up trying to do something else, you know, you pick up on my energy, it's not even going down like that. I remember my grandfather died, and my ex, who I had been with for a few years, drove me to, from Georgia to Alabama. And the conversation we had was a clear conversation about where my life was, where his life was. He has a wife, all of that. It's like clear communication. He never said a mumbling word about us getting together in any way because of how I showed up in the conversation. So we have to set the boundaries. Like it's been said, if you don't build that up and if you give it off, you might be able to get in these panties again, then they will try it.